So last time we got to the point where I had cut the transmission tunnel out, and we're pretty much ready to go on attaching the shifter, lining the shifter up so that we can weld the tunnel in. So we've got to get under the car, bolt the shifter on, and then figure out exactly where this is going to go. We have to get this bracket bolted on with these pieces here. T for top, T for top. Okay, so let's lift that up and over, and tearing the boot on the metalwork. It sits. God, get in there. Okay. Finger tight, no point in going crazy because it's coming out again in pretty short order. Let's pop that on. I'm not sure what side it goes on. I don't think it matters right now because we're not too fussed. Okay. Okay, so it's neutral. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, reverse. Look at that. Oh, it feels lovely. It's got a notchy feel, but I've got no problem with that. It's very positive. Oh, this is going to be such an improvement over that old auto. Between, it's kind of there. We'll flange it out. Flange it. Flange it. Thank you. This here looks like a dent, and there's marks there like it's been beat. Although there is a indentation there, but the plate is flat across here, so it leaves a gap. So I think I'm going to get underneath and push this up, and then we'll get the grinder on these lumps and get rid of these lumps. Yeah. There goes the camera. Okay, this now fits a lot better. They don't line up at all. Good job, whoever jobbed this. Oh well. Probably spending a bit too much time on this, but you know, the old adage, measure twice, cut once, or at least second guess it, by eye twice, cut once. That's what's going on here. I think I'm going to have to weld these holes up and then position it on their mark and drill my own holes, because they're miles out. Oh, those two kind of line up. These two kind of line up, but those aren't. And neither are these. These are nowhere to be seen. So maybe it goes like that. Oh. I'll take everything back I just said. They're all lining up beautifully. So that's the front. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the way that's fitting now. Obviously these areas here will have to be worked once it's tacked in place. But the job now is to take the transmission out again. Again. In and out, in and out. Okay. Okay, so transmission is out and the new tunnel is in position with those two screws. See them there and there. So it's roughed in. So now I've got to look at what I can do with all this. So right straight away I can see that I can cut a bunch of this off. Everything else looks pretty good. It's a matter of just making it look as nice as possible. No one ever likes hacking and slashing away the bottom of a car, but by the time this is all welded in and has sealer on it, it'll look okay. But like for instance this area here, I mean, it's not going to look correct if I just weld it from the other side. You're going to have this big step here. So I think what I'm going to do is just get in here with a pen, mark a few areas that need trimming or bending. I suppose I've got options. I can cut this off and then weld it to that piece there, or just bend this in so it touches here and then weld to that. It might be the better option. But clearance is king, so it would be nice to make sure that stuff like this and here is either gone or bent round so that it's out the way of the transmission. Back here I don't think it's going to be an issue. And that's going to pull down like that. And I'll trim this back and then butt weld and then weld it to this. It will be welded from both sides. Super strong. I mustn't forget to weld the underside of this first. I think the best thing to do is take the hump out, clean everything up, and then put the hump back in. Now I'm going to mark a line here. I'm going to take this extra piece of metal out. Yeah, okay, well, onwards and upwards. So spot welds aren't entirely necessary, but I like to put a few around so that you can clamp those or press those together, spot weld it down, then it makes it a lot easier to push the edge down and weld. It doesn't want to fight you once the spot welds are in place. This little thing I've had for years. It puts a little step in it on one side, spin it round, and pushes a spot weld hole through. Kind of handy. Oop, missed that one. Okay, I'm going to have a clean up. horse. Little horse. Let's go. Well, looking at this, I don't think there's any point in re-welding this. It's just going to be double seam right next to each other, so I think we'll clean this up. I mean, it's solid, I mean, it's not going anywhere. Might put a couple of tacks here and there. If you guys can see that, that's actually wrapped around real nice and tight along the bottom here. So yeah, I'm going to put a couple of tacks and fill up a couple of holes from where I drilled screws in, and we'll go from there. Okay, so there we have the finished article. The underside is tack welded and brush sealed, and then I have sound deadener spray, you know, under seal spray, under body spray, whatever you want to call it. And then up top here, the welds, I've just dressed a few high spots, but the rest, everything's going to get covered in this plastic, sorry, in this tar backed tin foil sound deadener, so you won't see any of those anyway. Not that they're anything to be ashamed of, but they'll be covered. So the front end of the console bolted to part of the transmission mechanism for the automatic box, which isn't there anymore. So I might have to weld a bracket or something on the front edge or front end somewhere so that we can bolt the console to it. But that's under the welding blanket here right now, and everything's tucked away, and I've had enough for the day. So next time it's investigate that bracket, and once I'm happy with what the plan is with that, I think what I'll probably do is finish the floor, stick all the stuff down on the floor, and then the interior is done. Then we're just underneath and clutch, pedal, etc. Well, the interior is done, but we still have to do the clutch pedal. So you can see at the moment it doesn't even have a go pedal. I had to remove it. Anyway, there we go. Until next time.